Okay, let's jump right in. We're starting a deep dive today that really touches on something that affects everyone sooner or later. We're talking about that decline in muscle and function, usually after age 60. You know the feeling. The stairs start to feel like a real chore. Your legs feel weaker. And just, keeping your balance starts to take conscious effort. It can feel like you're fighting a losing battle.
It really can. It's like this silent erosion of your independence.
Hmm.
And the usual advice you hear, hit the gym harder, buy this protein powder, it can feel totally exhausting
Hmm.
or just inaccessible, especially if you're dealing with joint pain or you're just tired.
Right.
So our mission today is to cut through all that noise. We're looking at a system where food, the choice, and the rhythm holds the real key, not necessarily grueling exercise.
And the source material for this is what makes it so interesting. We're not just pulling from abstract studies. We are distilling insights that come directly from the practices of Japan's longest living medical professionals. Specifically, the wisdom of a doctor who stayed strong and kept working well past 100. This is where theory meets reality.
Exactly. And the central idea we found is, well, it's radical in its simplicity. The body just needs support for its deepest systems, your digestion, your circulation, your cellular energy. If you get those right, strength just sort of follows naturally.
So it's not about one magic bullet.
Not at all. It's about 5 fundamental foods that work together. The goal isn't about looking a certain way. The goal, as we saw it referenced over and over, is freedom through function.
Freedom through function. I like that. That really frames it perfectly. But let's start with that core philosophy. The sources really suggest that a consistent diet overrides the need for intense exercise. In today's world, that sounds almost backward. Why does this approach insist that nourishing smarter is the goal?
It all comes down to stress and recovery. For many older adults, intense exercise just creates a lot of systemic stress. And if your body isn't fueled perfectly to recover, that stress actually leads to more breakdown, not buildup.
Ah, so it can backfire.
It can. This approach, instead, it prioritizes giving the body predictable, high-quality building blocks on a consistent rhythm. That minimizes the inflammatory stress response.
So it's less about shocking the muscles into growth and more about just reliably feeding the repair crew. But I want to pause on that because it touches on a real danger for seniors, which is restrictive dieting. So many trends push for fasting or cutting carbs, and that can lead to accidental undernourishment, right?
That is such a critical point, and the doctor emphasizes this. Muscle needs energy. It needs stability. When you put an older body into what it perceives as a constant deficit, it's going to prioritize basic survival over maintaining muscle. This system is all about nutrient density, not calorie restriction. It's about making the body feel safe enough to rebuild.
That makes so much sense. And the sources kept highlighting this missing link, the idea of absorption. You can eat the perfect meal, but if your gut can't process it, it doesn't matter.
Precisely. That's the bottleneck.
Yeah.
We have to maximize the body's ability to actually pull those nutrients in and get them to the muscle cells. So the very first step in this Japanese approach is to optimize the digestive tract.
Okay, with that foundation, set consistency, stability, and absorption, let's get into the 5 staples. What's the first powerhouse food?
We're going to start with fermented soy, natto. Now we have to talk about the elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't tried it, it is sticky, it is stringy, and the smell is, let's say, distinctive.
Yeah, let's get past that challenge. Why this specific preparation of soy? Why is it so much more powerful for seniors than just, say, tofu?
Well, for one, natto is a complete protein. That's huge. It has all 9 essential amino acids you need for muscle. But the real game changer is that the fermentation process essentially pre-digests that protein. It makes it dramatically easier for an aging digestive system to absorb compared to, heavier animal proteins.
So you get all the benefit without the digestive stress.
Yes, and that's just the start. Natto is famous for an enzyme called nattokinase. This stuff is incredible for supporting circulation. Think of it as improving the highway system that delivers all those building blocks to your muscles.
Oh, wow. So it not only provides the materials, but it also ensures they get to the construction site on time.
Absolutely. And then there's vitamin K2. K2's job is so important. It directs calcium to your bones where you want it, and it helps keep it out of your arteries where you don't. Plus, it's a fermented food, so it's full of probiotics that help with that absorption we talked about.
So the fermentation really is the key that unlocks its power. And for the taste, the doctor's advice is simple: stir it a lot and add something sharp, like mustard or soy sauce. Seems worth the effort. Okay, let's move on. The second staple takes us to the C, sardines. And the sources were very specific about this. Small, oily fish.
Small is key. We're looking for maximum benefit with minimum risk. And for fish, that means mercury. Sardines are very low in mercury, and they are just a powerhouse of omega-3 fatty acids.
We hear about omega-3s all the time, but how do they connect directly to rebuilding muscle in, someone over 60?
In two really vital ways. First, they are powerful anti-inflammatories. Inflammation is basically the enemy of muscle repair. It's a signal for breakdown. So omega-3s create a better, calmer environment for muscles to rebuild. Second, they actively support protein synthesis itself, the actual biological process.
So they quiet down the demolition crew while helping out the construction crew. That's a great synergy.
It is. And it goes even deeper, right down to the cellular level, to address that feeling of low energy. Sardines contain CoQ10. CoQ10 is essential for your mitochondrial function.
The little power generators inside our cells.
Exactly. Better mitochondrial function means more cellular energy. That translates directly into more endurance for daily life and faster recovery. So that fatigue people blame on age might actually be a fixable cellular energy issue.
And that energy helps with coordination too, I imagine.
Absolutely. The omega-3s also nourish the nervous system, which is key for balance and knowing where your body is in space. This directly helps reduce the risk of falls. Just a couple of servings a week is a massive long-term investment.
Moving on to number 3. This is something that's everywhere in Japanese cuisine, but often gets overlooked here. Seaweed. What's this silent powerhouse doing for us?
Seaweed is basically a deep mineral replenishment system. As we age, our bodies can struggle to hold on to key minerals. Seaweed is just packed with magnesium, potassium, and iodine. All three are non-negotiable for muscle function.
Okay, magnesium and potassium make sense for muscle contraction. But let's zoom in on iodine. Why is that so critical for maintaining muscle?
Iodine is fuel for your thyroid, and the thyroid is the master engine of your metabolism. If your thyroid function slows down, your metabolism slows down, and one of the first things your body stops maintaining is that high-energy muscle tissue. Seaweed provides a natural, bioavailable source of iodine to keep that engine humming.
So it keeps your body in a building state rather than a breaking down state?
Precisely. And it connects back to everything else.
Yeah.
Seaweed is also full of antioxidants and acts as a prebiotic. It feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which improves your absorption of all the other nutrients you're eating. It's just a win-win.
Okay, that's 3 incredibly interwoven staples. Natto, sardines, and seaweed. Now for number 4, sesame seeds.
Ah, the small but mighty seed. We usually think of sesame for its flavor, but the benefit here is about cellular defense. Yes, they have calcium and magnesium for joints and muscles, but the real magic is in 2 compounds, sesamin and lignans.
Okay, what do those do for aging muscles specifically?
Sesamin supports your liver and helps balance hormones, which is increasingly important as we age. But the lignans are powerful antioxidants that directly fight something called oxidative stress.
Can you break that down for us? What is oxidative stress in this context?
Think of it like rust on the machine. It's cellular damage that makes everything age faster. In your muscles, it's the damage that makes them recover slower. The lignans in sesame seeds are actively fighting that rust at the cellular level.
So they're not just providing minerals, they're literally protecting the tissues, tendons, joints, the muscle itself from aging.
Exactly. They nourish the foundational structures. And the key tip from the sources is to use the whole seeds, especially when they're freshly ground. You get the fiber and the full range of minerals that way, not just the oil. Sprinkling a spoonful over rice is such an easy preventative act.
That brings us to our 5th and final food. And this one really challenges that old idea that older adults should avoid carbs. We're talking about sweet potatoes, specifically the purple kind from Okinawa.
This is such a crucial reframe. When they're chosen wisely, carbs are a healing tool, not an enemy. The Okinawan sweet potato is rich in complex carbs and what's called resistant starch. It's gentle on your digestion. And most importantly, it provides a steady supply of energy that you need for muscle repair.
Why is that steady supply so important?
Well, when you use your muscles, you create tiny microtears. To repair those, you need a stable baseline of energy. These complex carbs stabilize your blood sugar. You avoid the spikes and crashes. And that steady state is critical because muscle repair is highly sensitive to insulin. You need that gentle signal for nutrients to get into the cells. Muscles grow in balance, not in deficit.
So the sweet potato basically sends a signal to the body that says, we're safe, we have resources, you can rebuild.
Exactly. And that deep purple color tells you it's full of protective compounds like beta-carotene and anthocyanins. These are incredible antioxidants that fight inflammation and protect those mitochondria, the energy cells, from damage.
So we've come full circle back to energy, protection, and inflammation. It's a complete system.
It is. The fiber in them also feeds your good gut bacteria and helps regulate hunger hormones, which is vital for feeling satisfied. This food really counters that dangerous advice telling older adults to always cut back, which can so easily lead to malnutrition.
This has been an incredible deep dive. Let's just synthesize this for everyone. The 5 staples: natto, sardines, seaweed, sesame seeds, and sweet potatoes. The sources show these simple foods helped elders stay strong and mobile deep into their 90s without gyms or supplements.
That's the beauty of it. They don't just add nutrients, they solve fundamental problems in the aging body. You've got weak digestion and absorption. Natto and sweet potato handle that. Chronic inflammation sardines and seaweed tackle that. And unstable metabolism and energy, that's seaweed and sweet potato. It's a truly cohesive framework.
So for everyone listening who's ready to start this week, what is the single most impactful first step they can take?
If you make just one change, start with breakfast. Fundamentally alter the intention of your first meal of the day. Breakfast is the signal that sets your metabolic rhythm for the entire day.
Turn that first meal into the anchor.
Exactly. Add one of these ingredients. Maybe it's a sprinkle of ground sesame on your oatmeal, or a small piece of grilled fish instead of toast. But the advice is bigger than just the ingredient. You have to turn the meal into a ritual of restoration.
A ritual of restoration, what does that look like?
It's about being present. Sit down. Don't stand at the counter. Breathe. Chew your food slowly. That simple, intentional act of slowing down sends a powerful signal to your body. It's a signal that says, we are safe, we are supported, and today we are actively building strength. That's the hidden layer here. It's not just what you eat, it's the respect and intention you bring to the act of eating it. That is how you protect your freedom for decades.